Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm For Classic and welcome to BenchART. So for today what I do have in here, it is again NBA 2K20, but this time instead of being on my GTX 1650 Super, I'm going to show you how it runs on my MX130 GDDR5. Alright, so yeah, this game was being revisited for a long time, but I've noticed that I haven't tested before, and that's the reason why I'm testing, because I do know that a lot of people enjoy sports games, and despite in Europe people don't care too much about NBA, for my American fellows and people that do enjoy NBA, I'm testing in here the game. So 720p median settings, it is my personal recommendation for playing with the MX130 or the GT940 MX. All of them GDDR5 versions. Just use the default median preset and go with 720p. This is what will offer you the best balance between performance and graphics, in my opinion. And as you can see, this is how it looks like. It still features anti-aliasing, it uses TAA, so it will look pretty good. Alright, so first let's take a look on the requirements though. So minimum requirements, this game requires an AMD FX 4000. I mean, this doesn't seem demanding on the CPU side. 4 gigs of RAM and also an Nvidia GT550 1GB or the AMD Radeon HD 7770. Alright, so I'm pretty sure we are above the minimum, and as you can see, with the settings that I'm using in here on the video, the 720p median settings, I get an average of 58 frames per second with a 1% low of 46. This happens to pretty much delivers you an experience above 46 frames per second, which I think it is pretty respectable. To be great, what would be really great, it would be to have an experience above 60 frames per second, but even at the low settings, 720p, it wasn't really possible. 720p high settings, I started to notice some drops under 30 frames per second, so I can't really recommend you. So either you go with 720p low settings or either you go with median. So I also tested the game with 900p. And with median settings, what I got, it was an experience over 30 frames per second and having an average of 47. 900p high settings, just like 720p, it drops from 30 frames per second. In 900p it is obviously even more pronounced, so I can't really recommend you. I also tested the game at 1080p median settings, but unfortunately it also drops from 30 frames per second. So my suggestion it is for you to play with 720p low or median settings, or in the worst case scenario you can also play at 900p median settings. Alright, all the rest of the settings just forget about it, because high settings it just goes under 30 frames per second. 1080p it is, unless you play on low median settings, it is not really entirely playable. And so that's the experience that I have in here. You have the results, now choose what you think that it fits best for you. But for me, 720p median settings, it is good. It is a good upgrade over the low settings, because with median settings you get the planar reflections on the floor, so you can see the reflections of the characters, the ball, the lightning. I mean the lightning from the upper stadium, above the stadium. On the higher part of the stadium. I'm sorry. So yeah, you get some respectable fidelity, although you don't have ambient occlusion, you don't have motion blur, and you don't have stuff like the planar reflections on the baskets itself. So you don't get a ton of stuff like, for example, the depth of field during the cutscene moments. But I don't think it is a huge deal. The game, despite it is not at 60 frames per second, that it would be my logical target, despite it is not at 60, it is pretty playable, but of course, this is the game that would require you to have 60 frames per second to have the perfect experience, alright? So, I think that's all that I want to talk on the technical front. Now about the game. NBA 2K20, it is not a game being very well received on Steam. Mostly this is not about the game. I mean, the single player it is pretty good, although there are multiple complaints about the multiplayer. Also, the monetization issue, it is, well, an issue, because you pay $49.99 for the game and then you have tons of microtransactions that were created for people to buy it. I mean, that's why they exist, right? That's exactly how I think that 2K thinks, because when you are playing the game, you need to grind like a ton of years to get anything decent, and so forcing you to either get the microtransactions or either give up of getting anything at all. So this is one of the bad parts about the game, and that's why the Steam reviews are a little bit mixed up about the game, because the game it is good, but their flaws with online, their flaws with the microtransactions are really hurting the game reception. This also happens before in another NBA titles like the 2K19. There were the same issues, but since I believe that users continue to buy and buy and buy and buy every year, I think that 2K don't care at all about these issues, because the money still enters on their pot anyway. Alright guys, so I think that's all that I want to cover about NBA 2K20 on the MX130 or the GT940 MX GDDR5. Hope you did enjoy the video. If you have any question about anything, just leave on the comment section of the video, which I will gladly reply to you. Alright guys, so thank you a lot for watching, and I do hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
And they call the foul, so a chance at the line for one more coming up.
They have really found a rhythm here early. 4 for 5 to start this game.
Well, whether you love him or hate him, you can't deny that Draymond Green is one of the more unique players in the league.
There really isn't anyone else like Draymond. I mean, who does everything for a team but score. I mean, not only can he play all positions on both ends of the floor, but also to be the emotional leader. Truly a special player.
And Draymond Green does so much on the floor. It's hard to quantify by any measure.
And people have called Draymond a product of the system before. But I don't care where he is. Draymond is going to be a major impact with his defense and playmaking.
And again, no good by Toronto.
The inside just a bit too congested for him to get the usual shot he would have with rhythm.
Russell kicks to Thompson. Back to Russell. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson.
Defensively, all eyes on Clay. Great scorer, but also able to beat you with the pass.
Tipped away and stolen by Cauley Stein. Lets it go with a three. Powell pulls it in. Raptors trail by 4. And in this first quarter, about 3 minutes played. Great D that time from Green.
This is the shot you want, right at the rim. He just couldn't deliver.
Outside Curry. Pass to Cauley Stein. And Gasol sends it back.
Love how Gasol patrols the court, always on the lookout to reject a shot.
Lowry finds Van Vliet. Back to Lowry. Fires from 14. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 or 3 so far.
Working in that mid-range area. The analytics may not love it, but that's a good look for him.
Russell passes to Thompson. No good on the triple. To the middle. Siakam, good. And that makes it a tie ball game.
I like that. Get the ball to Siakam close to the rim where he can put his size to work.
Here's Cauley Stein, and Cauley Stein throws it down.
It really does make the game easy for your teammates when you can lead them to the rim that well with a pass.
So timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
The Toronto Raptors are an elite defensive group. Reasons why: they're long, they're smart, and they're experienced.
in now for the Raptors. Serge Ibaka, he's checked in for Gasol. OG Anunoby comes in for Pascal Siakam. Hollis Jefferson's checked in for Norman Powell. And it's Patrick McCaw in for Fred VanVleet. Different look here for the Warriors. Looney's checked in for Cauley Stein. Alfonso McKinney comes in for Green. Robinson's checked in for Klay Thompson. And it's Burks in for D'Angelo Russell.
Blazing first step of Burks, enabling him to leave the defense in his wake.
Here's Hollis Jefferson, guarded by Robinson. And again, Toronto no luck. Warriors leading by 4. No good that time. Good work defensively by Lowry. And so Lowry will bring it up for the Toronto Raptors. 17 seconds left to play here in the first. Now the Warriors moving it up. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. Kyle Lowry picks one up there.
Stephen Curry continues to develop all aspects of his game. Next step was to get the ball into the paint. He's done that.
The Warriors shooting their second and third shots at the line right here.
And when you look at their numbers from a season ago, 80% as a unit, that's something you'll be happy with.
And he makes the first.
Curry's gotten physically tougher, which can help you become mentally tougher. And the thing you like about him is he likes to put in the work.
And so he hits both.
He's living there tonight, a tough guy to guard without fouling. And the bonus, he's going to knock him down.
Lowry deciding where to go with it here.
Stephen Curry with the hustle play on the defensive end. Great contest of the shot also.
And so it's the Golden State Warriors with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. They're playing a bruising